What I'd like to talk with you for the next little while is a little bit about hydration. We live in the southeastern U.S., one of the hottest and most humid areas of the U.S. You put an athlete in clothing like football clothing. They wear a helmet, they wear pads, they wear a jersey, they wear trousers, shoes, socks. All those things interfere with losing heat. And humans lose heat primarily through sweat evaporation. And so you put pads on there. The pads prevent sweat from evaporating from the surface of the skin, and so it's very difficult to stay cool. And so each year, somewhere in the U.S., we'll kill one or two high school, junior high football players, or sometimes college and professional players in August and in September who are practicing football. And we do it not because they got run over by a golf cart, but because they overheated. Now, one of the keys in most heat stress injuries is dehydration. So our job as coach or as a parent or even as an athlete is to keep athletes well hydrated. In football uniform, a football player practicing in August, July, August, September, even first part of October can lose over 2 liters. That's more than 2 quarts of sweat per hour. Now, for that person to stay hydrated, they're going to have to ingest more than that. Why is more than that? Because if you drink very much, you end up going to the bathroom, and that fluid really doesn't help you. All the fluid we take in is not useful fluid necessarily. So 2 or 3 things that a coach can do, 2 or 3 things that a parent can do to help their child stay hydrated, or to help themselves stay hydrated for that matter, is take in plenty of fluid, which is an obvious thing. Probably need to take in a little over between 2 and 3 liters per hour. And if it's really hot and if you're really in good shape, you can lose even more than that. So maybe as much as 4 liters, which would be almost a gallon of fluid, actually a little over a gallon of fluid per hour. That's a lot of fluid. We recommend 2 things. Number 1 is you ought to space that drinking out. Now, we just did an experiment, just finished the experiment a couple of weeks ago, and we discovered if you're drinking water, if you'll spread out and drink smaller quantities over a much longer time, you'll retain almost twice as much of that fluid. So that fluid's going to be more helpful to you if you'll space out your drinking. Now, I think the same thing is true for athletes with probably any beverage, but if you're drinking a sports beverage, an electrolyte beverage, and you know the commercial names of these things, it's not as important that you space out the drinking, but it is as important that you drink a quantity. And we do recommend, our laboratory, based on research, not based on being paid by anybody, not doing a commercial for anybody, we have found in our own experiments that athletes or anybody, if you're mowing your grass or if you're planting bushes, whatever you're doing, working on a roof as a roofer, we recommend that you drink an electrolyte carbohydrate beverage. And if you go to the store and look in the sports drink section, you'll find several to choose from.